Hello everyone. Our today's topic is Bohr model and hydrogen atom. Today we will discuss about the Bohr model, then hydrogen atom, energy of electron in hydrogen atom, and numericals. Before discussing about the Bohr's assumptions, let us discuss about the Bohr model of atom. Quantum mechanics, quantum physics, the theory of relativity, etc., are the modern subject that interests and greatly surprise and confuse almost everybody. These topics form the basis of modern physics. The very first time quantum theory was incorporated in Bohr's model of an atom, or it is also called as Bohr atomic model. The physicist Niels Bohr said, "Everyone who is not shocked by quantum theory has not understood it." He also said, "We must be clear that when it comes to atoms, language can only be used as in poetry." So, what exactly is this Bohr atomic model? Let us discuss about the Bohr model. Bohr atomic model and the models after that explain the properties of atomic electrons on the basis of certain allowed possible values. The model explains how an atom absorbs or emits radiation when electrons on subatomic level jump between the allowed and stationary states. German born physicist J. Planck and Hertz obtained the experimental evidence of the presence of these states. A Danish physicist named Niels Bohr in 1930 proposed the Bohr atomic model. He modified the problems and limitations associated with Rutherford's model of an atom. Earlier in Rutherford model, Rutherford explained in an atom a nucleus is positively charged and surrounded by electrons. The electrons move around in a predictable path that is called orbits. Bohr modified Rutherford's model where he explained that electrons move around in a fixed orbital cells. Furthermore, he explained that each orbital cell has fixed energy levels. Therefore, Rutherford basically explained a nucleus of an atom, whereas Bohr took the model one step ahead. He explained about electrons and the different energy levels associated with it. According to Bohr atomic model, a small positively charged nucleus is surrounded by revolving negatively charged electrons in fixed orbits. He concluded that electron will have more energy if it is located away from the nucleus, whereas the electrons will have less energy if it is located near the nucleus. Now we shall discuss about the Bohr's postulates. The first postulates, or it is also called assumptions, electrons revolve around the nucleus in a fixed circular path termed orbits or cells or energy level. The orbits are termed as stationary orbit, and in these orbits the electrons are revolve around the nucleus without any radiating energy. Every circular orbit will have a certain amount of fixed energy, and these circular orbits were termed orbital cells. The electrons will not radiate energy as long as they continue to revolve around the nucleus in a fixed orbital cell. Second assumption, the angular momentum of an electron is equal to the integral multiple of h upon divided by 2 pi. Third postulate is the electron may shift to an orbit of higher or lower energy, thereby gaining or losing energy equal to the difference in the energy level. Now let us discuss about the hydrogen atom. The hydrogen atom atomic number Z is equal to 1 and mass number A is equal to 1. Means in atom, atomic number is equal to the number of protons in the nucleus, and that is equal to number of electrons in orbit. And mass number gives you the total number of protons and neutrons. So since in hydrogen atom consists of a single proton and a single electron, and which are bound together, the proton and the electron stay together, continually interact with each other. Hydrogen atom is an electron and proton bound by the electromagnetic force, and this force is the force between the positively charged nucleus and the electron, that is the electrostatic force, or that is also called as Coulomb's force of attraction in this case, since positively charged nucleus and electrons in between the Coulomb's force of attraction. Electromagnetic energy will absorb or emitted according to the third postulate of the Bohr's theory. If an electron moves from one orbit to another, only a certain electron orbits are permitted. The radius of the possible orbits increases as n square, where n is the principal quantum number. This relation we will study in next slide whenever you calculate the energy of the electron in hydrogen atom. If there is transition of electron from third orbit to second orbit, it produces the first line of the Balmer series. For hydrogen, Z is equal to 1, as you know, that is atomic number, and this produces a photon having wavelength 656 nanometer. Now let us calculate the energy of equation of energy of electron energy equation for electron in hydrogen atom. Using the three Bohr postulates, we can derive an expression for electron in hydrogen atom. Now, according to the first postulate, now let me take the pen. Now, according to the first postulate, we can write the equation. This is the first equation. We can write as the force between two charges. Here in this case, the charge on nucleus is a Z of E, and means this is Z of E, and that is the Z is equal to 1. So therefore, the charge on the nucleus is E only. So therefore, according to this, the Coulomb's force can be write as Z of E into the E divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 Rn square. Okay. Where Rn is the radius of the nth orbit. Now in this case, Z is equal to 1. So therefore, we have the equation here. Now first equation is the 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 E square by divided by Rn square, and that is equal to the force between the charge, positive charge on nucleus and electron. So therefore, and according to the first assumption, electrons around the nucleus in circular orbit, and it will be bounded by a force that is equal to, this force is required for circular motion of the electron, and that is centripetal force, and that force can be write as here mv square by Rn, that is centripetal force. So Vn is the velocity of the electron in nth orbit. So after calculating this, you will find the relation mv square equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 E square upon Rn, cancelling the radius term on both sides. According to the second assumption of the Bohr's theory, mvr, that is angular momentum, is equal to n h upon 2 pi. Now you can see here, this is the second, according to second postulate, mv n Rn is equal to n h upon 2 pi. Okay, this is the second equation. The total energy of the electron in the nth orbit is the kinetic energy plus potential energy. So in the third equation, we will find, substituting the kinetic energy half of m square, and potential energy is calculating again the minus E square divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 Rn. And from equation 1 and 3, the equation becomes here, by substituting the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into E square by Rn, that is from equation 1, substitute here, the equation will be half of mvn square minus mvn square. So it becomes minus of half of mvn square. That is the fourth equation. Now in solving the equation 1 and 2, so you will find the value of the velocity in the nth orbit. So substituting these values from 1 and 2, we will get this equation, that is the E square upon 2 epsilon 0 nh. And from equation 4, that is the equation 4 is the energy equation, En is equal to minus of half of mvn square. Substitute this value of Vn so that you will obtain this equation. And finally, by solving this equation, the energy of total energy of the electron in given orbit, nth orbit, minus m e raised to e to the power of 4 divided by 8 epsilon 0 square n square h square. So this is the equation for the electron in nth orbit. Now, how to calculate the energy of electron in the ground state of hydrogen atom? So here, using the equation which is derived for energy of electron in hydrogen atom, that will be given by En is equal to minus of m e raised to 4 divided by 8 epsilon 0 square n square h square. So here m is the mass of electron and the mass of the electron here can write here the m is equal to 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. Okay, so this is the mass of electron. Charge E is the charge on electron, and charge on electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. Okay, so and epsilon 0 is the permittivity, and that is given here 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 coulomb square plus divided to the Newton meter square. N is the orbit number, here it's the ground state, so the n is equal to 1, and h is the Planck constant. So substituting all these values, we will obtain the value of ground state energy of the electron in hydrogen atom is minus 13.6 electron volt. The another problem in which this is according to the third assumption. So problem is, what is the frequency of light given off by an electron that moves from the second energy level to the first energy level? So here the second energy level is given E2 minus 5.2 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule, and first energy level, that is the lower energy level, and that will be E1 equal to minus of 9.25 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. So substituting here the difference energy E2 minus E1, the E equal to 4.05 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. So as you know, the energy is given by hf, and f is the frequency of the light given off by the electron when that jumps from higher level to lower level, and that frequency is now E by h, where h is the Planck constant, that is h is the 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. So substitute here and you will obtain the value of frequency 0.61 into 10 to the power of 15 hertz. So this is the frequency of the light. Okay, let us summarize the today's lecture. In the today's lecture, we have solved or we have obtained the ground state energy of electron in hydrogen atom. So, and this is value is obtained minus 13.6 electron volt. And as you know, the negative value ground state energy indicates that the electron is bound to the atom. The energy of the orbit is released to its size. The energy of the orbit is related to its size. The lowest energy is found in the smallest orbit. And as you know, according to the third assumption, radiation is absorbed or emitted when an electron moves from one orbit to another orbit. Okay, this is all for today's lecture. Thank you.